You've asked for it. My settings, more specifically, controller settings in FIFA 23. This is my settings that I'll be using for this pro competitive season in FGS and the road to the E-World Cup in FIFA 23. First of all, of course, we move into the controller settings. Now, obviously, Competitive Master Switch is the setting that is on and is mandatory for all competitive online game modes. So this is what we will be using. And of course, the settings that you see on your screen are blurred out for that reason. We are forced to use these settings. The ones we're not forced to use though are these ones, and this is what I'm using this year in the competitive season. Through pass assistance is on semi. Of course you can have this on manual if you do want, but semi is what I recommend simply because of course it does help you aim just a little bit better in terms of where you thread that through ball. FIFA Trainer, of course, is off. It's such a distraction this year. We have time finishing. For me, it's on, and I still recommend you guys using time finishing. I did a complete tutorial on this. It's on the channel, and I stressed how important it is because it does increase the accuracy and the power of the shot. And myself, I'm taking it to the next level this year. I'm actually green timing the power-up shot technique that has been added into FIFA 23. So, highly recommend time finishing. Get to learn it. If you haven't learned it, watch that tutorial. Next, player switch indicator, super important, specifically when you guys are using L1 switching, but also second man press. It allows you to see who you will be second man pressing with once you activate it. Pass, block, assistance, of course, is on. We want our defenders getting in the road of the passes if they can. Manual for auto switching. This is super important. If it's on only loose balls or only air balls or automatic or on air balls and loose balls, what happens is it will select off the defender that you already have control of, and you do not want that. You really don't, because I've experienced it countless times before I had this setting to set to manual, where the ball would be in the air and it would switch off the defender that you had desirably selected, and that will just hinder your defense tremendously. So you need to have it on manual to stop that from happening. Auto switching move assistance is on none. I don't want any switching, as I said, happening without my consent. Clearance assistance is on classic. This is so I can obviously clear the ball when I want and the technique that I want to do it with. Player lock is on. This is one of the greatest techniques of attacking in FIFA, and in general, since it came out, it's one of my favorites. It's super useful and very vital in certain attacking situations, so I highly recommend having it on. There's going to be a complete guide to how to use this in 23 coming up on the channel. Icon switching is on off. I manually right stick switch. I don't need icon switching to help me with this, so I highly recommend you guys getting right stick switching down pat as well. And speaking of the devil, right stick switching is on classic. You do have three options this year. It's player rotation, it's adaptive, and it's classic. I have it on classic simply because I can flick to the defender as quick as I can. With this adaptive switching, which has been added in this year, it shows up with a line. Now, although that might be helpful for you guys learning the angles of right stick switching, if I'm wanting to select the defender instantaneously, it doesn't happen as quick with this technique because it has to line up with that line first, and I don't like it. I have it on classic for that reason. Player relative for the right stick switching reference as well. I'm not having it on ball relative, and I've explained why on the channel before. People go in the comment section and they criticized my explanation as to why I'm using player relative. Let me explain it to you once more and once and for all. Player relative is much better than ball relative. Why? When you're selecting with the right stick with ball relative, you can only select the players that are around the ball. That's maximum 4 to 5 defenders. With player relative, I can select anyone on the pitch. If there is a winger on the far side, on the opposite side of the pitch making a run, and I've got it on ball relative, can I select the right back to track him? Absolutely not. I can only select the 4 or 5 defenders that are around the ball. But if right stick switching is on player relative, I can select anyone I want, including the far defender, to track that runner. So once again, use player relative. Trust me on this. Ground pass assistance, of course, is on assisted. Shot assistance, of course, is on assisted. Cross assistance, of course, is on assisted. These just help you aim, essentially, which is the most important thing. Lob pass assistance is on assisted again, and lob through pass is on semi, okay? We have a save assistance again on assisted. We then also have end-load sprint on off. I do like the classical way of sprinting in FIFA. I generally just like having the player sprint as fast as they can from the get-go. This allows you to control how fast they're sprinting. Although it might be useful in certain situations, I'm yet to figure out whether I do like this, but at the moment I've still got it on classic, so I'm going to keep it there. Late for pass receiver lock, that's pretty straightforward. I do want the player locking onto the ball late, so that ensures that I have the correct play every time I pass it. I then have user vibration feedback on off. It's unnecessary. Why would you want the controller vibrating in your hand when you're in a tight, intense game? We then have trigger effect. It's on off as well. Again, why would you want the R2 button being harder to press in a tense game? So turn that off, ladies and gentlemen. That is my controller settings. Of course, I'm going to get into the reasoning of why I'm using the camera settings that I have set. We then move into camera settings, and this is going to be short and brief, but I'm going to explain briefly why I use classic. I simply use classic because it has a closer angle to the pitch, and when I am dribbling, I can see the touches that the player are taking a lot better compared to a telebroadcast angle. And I had a video on this last year for FIFA 22 and essentially explained exactly that. It helps me dribble, and especially with dribbling this year, it is bad. So we don't need anything putting us into a disadvantage, including the camera angle, and we don't want anything stopping us from dribbling to the best of our abilities with what we've got. So the camera angle I'm going for is classic this year, simply because of that reason. But there you have it. That is my complete controller settings and of course camera settings for FIFA 23. It's what I'll be using for the upcoming competitive season in FIFA, and I am looking forward to it. Of course, we have the No Money Spent Road to an Event series on the channel. I show you the ins and outs. I literally vlog my experience as a pro player: gym, diet, playing the game, talking to a sports psychologist as well to help me improve mentally on the game. I show you the ins and outs, literally. And if you want to see that, subscribe, stay tuned, because the episode number 1 will be coming out very shortly. But that's going to see at the end of it. I am coaching one-on-one on patreon.com. If you want one-on-one coaching with me, I've taken people from Div 10 to Elite Division. It can be done. It will be done. Check it out. The link is down below. But as always, I hope you guys have a good day. I'm out. Sayonara, au revoir, adios, long ciao. Goodbye. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, then I'd really appreciate it if you hit the subscribe button. And lastly, if you do want any pre-gaming fuel or supplement, then head over to atpscience.com, which is the first link in the description, and use the code AussieFIFA at checkout to get yourself a discount. Not only is it the cheapest way to get supplements, but it helps me out a ton, guys, so thank you.